Yeah. Yeah. Excited to see you on the mic. Yeah. Me and my lonesome roaming, streets like I'm Legion roaming, searching for reasons, hoping this earth ain't for heathens, holding onto beliefs corroding, this bread that they feed us molding, looking ahead at oceans, just keeping my head afloating. That moment I noticed leaves and they growing more than my trees. I was focused on other seas, now my deeds are completely frozen. Get back to me, I'm coasting, keep open for breezes blowing, knowing the signs to see ain't designed for no easy showing. Cool with me though, for real life ain't golden. Feel like it's more like some colon, that pressure molding my soul. Real life boulders on shoulders, get hyping over the closing. It's light and glowing at night, but it's bright enough so I go and realize I see in the dark what I couldn't see when the sun was sparked. Part of me found relief in the heart asleep of a thought. Deep is the dream I caught, in the stream I seem to have fought, and I let it go and it came back when I stopped looking. How about that? I spent some time alone, I'm out here on my own. I'm looking forward, don't wanna be found, but I'm gone. And keep on searching for it, it's out there so I explore it. But when I chose to ignore it, that's of course when I found it, when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. I found it when I stopped looking. 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 It is space that I'm trying to be in. Tired of being in line to wait, so I step aside and I pushed ahead. It's no finding peace, but no signs of bleeding. Saw the ledge in the world that we in. I made a plan and it's time to lace. And if I should fall and land on my face, then I see the scrapes as a part of me. Moving along, it's no choice in that. We all on the path, but ain't all agreeing. Different laps for the different factions in the school of thought that we hold degree in. Graduated to the truth and all, not into all of what the youth evolve. I got a bigger dish, need more to fill than that smaller fish that you dissolved. I'm searching for what we disregard. That's a waste of time and that's time itself. And that's the only thing that I can attain without getting less than I've given dealt. My cards is all of my sleeves and felt. I was cheating laws and I needed help. Lesson learned, I was less concerned with the lend a hand, with aggressive burns. But that past mistake could be a future great. Refuse to grab, but you could choose to take advice to act like an know-it-all. But that's typical, that's protocol. But when you evolve to a higher height, you see the game from the in and outs. Found the space that I was looking for, there all along, in the midst about, yeah. I spent some time alone, I'm out here on my own. I'm looking forward, don't wanna be found, but I'm gone. And keep on searching for it, it's out there so I explore it. But when I chose to ignore it, that's of course when I found it, when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. I found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking. Found it when I stopped looking.
Another nigga got shot last Friday. Police said the shooter vanished on the highway. He killed that motherfucker dead in his driveway. You die at home, where the fuck can you survive at? Fact, only certain people really feel alive. The others know how I feel to be alive. Black, this rap shit used to be something I could strive at. Now it's damn near drug raid over 5 stacks. You ever seen a nigga die with his eyes wide open, spilling out pain on the train tracks? And when it rains, oh boy, do it rain. Over money, over hoes, over crack, over cane. Cause we highly overpressured and extremely underpaid. And this job search bullshit is highly overrated. They tell me go to school, get a job. A job is the hardest thing to find. And school costs money, so I'm heavy on the grind. The streets teach more, am I wasting my time? Street smarts look bad on a resume. My dogs hate living in a reservoir. So we sell bags even on Heaven's Day. For hella pay, for heaven's sake. All these young girls wanna do is celebrate. She love to wear a main, niggas selling weight. Tell him wait, chill on it for heaven's sakes. He'll try to bring a pound through the heaven's gates. I can't blame how they live, so I meditate. Pick up the phone, flip zones, maybe 7 plates. But only to keep food on a nigga plate. Not religious at all, fuck what the reverend say. I'm dreaming of a Beamer on Dubs. A missy misdemeanor with a girl. I'm feeling like a G and I'm a thug. And we only wish that we can bring a heater in the club. Young rich niggas be in love with the snub nose. Just in case somebody try to take me out the plug. It's all cash and cream, it's all drugs. But this life gotta change like I'm trying to break a dub. They tell me go to school, get a job. A job is the hardest thing to find. And school costs money, so I'm heavy on the grind. The streets teach more, am I wasting my time? Street smarts look bad on a resume. My dogs hate living in a reservoir. So we sell bags even on Heaven's Day. For hella pay, for heaven's sake. Why must I be like that? If he had them for the low, I'ma buy packs. Get them off sooner than I bought, I'll be right back. Nigga doing what he gotta do, it be like that. Keep it too real for my own good when I write raps. I got them pulling me to the side, did you write that? I bet you even if these niggas hate it, they like that. Usually niggas acting like they with it be hype ass. So I'm soul searching till they close curtain. Pockets hurting on this cold earth, and nothing that I wanted more but to smoke purple. Do so much weed that my throat hurting. These niggas hate wealth, so they low lurking. They gon' try to body bag you and close curtain. Until that very day, I'm still soul searching. I hope that my findings are so worth it. They tell me go to school, get a job. A job is the hardest thing to find. And school costs money, so I'm heavy on the grind. The streets teach more, am I wasting my time? Street smarts look bad on a resume. My dogs hate living in a reservoir. So we sell bags even on Heaven's Day. For hella pay, for heaven's sake.
Okay, all right. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be doing a little take 2 action over here. Reintroducing my good friend Mike that was so kind to donate another hour of his time to do this right the second time. This little talk show series I had cooking up. Unfortunately, I couldn't get in everyone that I wanted to do this week. Work was being extremely chaotic, and that's just how life goes. So you just roll with the punches and figure it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Zoom call, get them on, and this time I know the audio is working. I'm going to be paying attention to the chat this time around and not feel like I'm being rude by not making eye contact through a screen with the guests, and I'm definitely not going to ignore the chat this time. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in here.
Recording in progress.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video so there's no glitches, and go ahead and shoot them a quick text. So let me see if he's in there. Figured I'd wear this suit this time around and not the white and black, because this actually matches the colors of the Cheshire Cat, which is a part of my whole little flyers and stuff. So I figured I'd wear matching colors, which gave me some ideas. See if no, that's not good. There we go. What's good, bro? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yo.
What's up, bro?
All right, take two, bro. Take two action over here.
Sure.
We're going to do things right the second time. This time I know I got the audio working, so we're not... Whatever happened the first time around is not going to happen this time again.
What happened?
Yeah, we're not going to get into the details, but the sound kept cutting in and out, and it wasn't that clear, but we'll get things right this time around. Is your camera working?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Hold on.
More importantly, I'm not going to ignore the chat like a dick.
Okay.
There we
I
go.
see myself only. I can't see you though.
You can't. Yeah. Yeah. If you on a separate thing and then turn off the volume, like right now on my screen, like I see you, but I also see myself. And so yeah, so it's like if you was to go on the YouTube page, like you would see that I'm talking with you. You just don't see me through Zoom.
Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah,
you know what?
Because like if I try to open up, it's gonna look weird for anyone like that's watching through the stream. And then also the other thing is like I don't know why the camera on Zoom gets glitchy, and I don't want to try to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks again, man, for joining me. This time around, I'm gonna be a little bit more concise. Just for the folks at home, especially future viewers that missed us the first time around. Just want to apologize again for the technical difficulties. That's obviously not the case this time. And you don't have to be super in-depth intro. I don't want anyone to send you anthrax through the mail or anything crazy. But go ahead and let the viewers know who I'm talking to, who you are, and what you got going on.
Yeah, well, my name is Miguel Cáceres, or Mike. Everyone knows me as Mike. I know Chris through the Marine Corps. We both served together. I'm currently a machinery technician in the Coast Guard, living in Virginia. Currently going to school as well. I'm majoring in business administration with concentration in accounting. And my hobbies include jiu-jitsu, soccer, chess, schoolwork, gym, and long walks on the beach.
All very positive things, and more importantly, a little bit of routine in there, because that certainly paves the way to a bright future. Albeit people a lot of people that I come across in contemporary time would speak against it. I don't know why, but routine is obviously not a bad thing. So just to go over the channel very briefly, without having like to pull up the channel description. So it's fighting the enemy being a fancy word for lack of direction. Mostly talk about date life here. Everything is primarily focused on the getting to know you phase, right? Those first 3, 4, 5 weeks of speaking with someone and trying to figure out where is this going, is there intention here, but more importantly, is she trying to finesse me, right? A lot of like an overwhelming majority of the content that I have uploaded, not that I've been doing this for long, has been about helping guys, especially those who are inexperienced, but more importantly, what I describe as being a little bit more emotionally vulnerable, right? Maybe because of loneliness, feeling down, hard week, whatever the case may be. So generally, when you're in that kind of mind state or emotional being, you're more susceptible to being finessed. And so an overwhelming majority of my content, I balance between being pragmatic and philosophical about how to avoid that, what it looks like, what it doesn't look like, and so on and so forth. And so one of the foundations that I base all the videos on, and I always bring it up when it's relevant, is this acronym that you emailed me about a couple of weeks back before we started shooting the first take, was H.I.D.D.E.N. You were like, what does that mean? So it's H-I-D-D-E-N. And so rather than just read through it, I also put examples for this time around. So the H being hedonistic, a hedon is someone that's just constantly worried about fun and making themselves feel good, right? And so that's like
kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Like it's like how do you say, like a thrill seeker, right? Like that's a hedon, right? And then so where I see this and the way it comes up in date life, at least in my experience, has been like I'm only picking on dating apps because it's just easier and it's documented, right? So it doesn't seem like I'm just speaking out of my face. This is the only reason why I'm gonna use it. Of course, you can spot it in person, out and about, but for the purposes of the discussion, it's just easier to pick on dating apps. So when I read through dating apps and I see women that stress the hell out of having quote unquote fun, adventures, and I don't talk to men that don't take life seriously, now I know there's an issue right here, right? Like that's a concern. The immaturity. So in particularly, I define immaturity not so much about like how people handle themselves, but also more importantly, that's more relevant is financially. They're being financially immature. So many times women like to spend and do all this other stuff outside of their means, trying to rely on a man to get those thrills. Then you have delusional, and I think the easiest thing to pick is like, you got your 30-year-old single woman who thinks Mr. Rich and Right is still looking for her. Then you got double standards, classic thing, right? Oh, he has to have a car and a house, but you don't bring anything to the table. And you work a part-time job saying he got to be Superman and Batman combined, but you ain't got nothing going on for yourself, right? Like that's nothing new. Elitism, which is, I think for just in my experiences when I talk to other guys about this, it generally goes over their head. I just don't want to say gold digger. I'm talking about women that are for no reason trying to be bougie, even though they don't come from that background. It's like being pretentious, right? Like, even though you don't come from that background and you didn't get it from your parents, why are you acting like this now? So like that's what I mean by elitism. And a narcissistic, which is the easiest thing, me, right? Like the world revolves around you and you only. So I just want to turn the floor now to you. Did I hit the hammer on the nail? There's something vibe there? Something come to mind?
Yeah, of course. No, all of them. I think part of your 20s is making be willing to take calculated risks. And I say, I stress that it's like, in life you have to take risks, but people seem to miss the point, of, like, or seem to miss the point of calculating. Like, take those risks, but how do you, just calculate what potential consequences, or what actions you want to take, the consequences to them, positive or negative, if any, and then make the jump. You know what I mean? Like, people, like, I think guys now, there's this notion, or there's this sense I get from, when I speak to somebody in the early 20s. I'm 29, by the way. I'm still technically in my 20s, but I'm also approaching that age where a man is expected to be in his prime, and I believe that. I was raised like that. The way my father raised me is, listen, in your 20s, take those risks, make mistakes, be willing to get your heart broken, but also don't be afraid to break some hearts along the way. And
pretty savage. All right, continue.
No, yeah. How do you say? What did I say? Oh, yeah. Don't. Yeah. Be willing to get your heart broken, but also be willing, be able. But you have to be capable of breaking hearts. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying be an asshole. I'm saying just like, if something's not working for you, you have to know how to articulate that the way a gentleman would. And part of that also is is for men to surround themselves with men they want to, keyword men they want to be like, not dudes, not like, I don't want to be around other guys. I want to be around like men. My circle, my tribe consists of the majority of them are gentlemen that are at a point that I want to reach in my life. You know what I mean? That they're always
Right.
holding me accountable. But anyway, I digress. Part of taking those risks, like I had mentioned before, is dealing with those personalities. Like, I can't say I've dated every woman in the world, but I've dated enough to have dealt with, the narcissist, the immature, the delusional girl, the hedonistic, or the nihilist.
So what's oh God, a nihilist, Jesus, that's never cool.
Oh no, that's not. I actually, it was some goth chick, man. It was some goth girl. She's like, oh, what do you think about nihilism? That like life has no meaning. And I'm like, hey, if that works for you, great. But I actually have like things to live for. I feel like I have things to live for. I have too much on my plate to just resort to that school of thought. So,
right.
I have to.
Well said.
In guy code or in guy terms, I had to kind of
skedaddle.
Get away from me with that.
So, that's what I want to kind of dig in a little bit. So, because it's cool to speak in generals, but I also enjoy specificity, which is why I started the channel. And I normally just go through receipts and have like I said, the balanced discussion of philosophical / then practical. And so I guess I'll just ask the question, but still staying on top of this foundation. How do you avoid meaningless dating? When do you know, after a week or two of talking to whoever, hey, should I take this girl out? Is she ready to be taken out? Do I feel comfortable? Like when do you know if it's a waste of time, a bust, or do you go forward and get that first date? When and how, basically.
Usually in my first date, what I'm looking for is how do you say? You can more or less, when you've dated a lot, you can more or less tell on that first date, or at least, I can only speak for myself.
Of course.
I'm sure there are other guys that can relate.
No, speak from yourself. We're using anecdotes here.
For myself, I usually on that first date, I'm looking to see like, okay, are they trying to convince me of something, or what do they convey? You know what I mean? I'm not listening to like. Yeah,
I like that.
Of course, but how do you is I'm more listening to tonality, like, how are you saying something? Does, like, do you is a person humble? Are they saying things like, like, are they showing interest in me? For, I'm kind of old school, so for me, it's like, okay, like, let's go out for a walk or something. And if we're feeling it, if, we're feeling each other, right then and there, I like it to be organic. And I'm like, hey, are you hungry? Can, let's go, let's go grab a bite,
Mm-hmm.
If he says yes, and cool, there's sort of interest there, and then we're still, knocking birds with one stone right there. We're getting to know each other, and we're feeding them. But throughout that whole experience, like, do I get the sense that, like, I always ask, like, do I get the sense that, okay, this person wants me to look good? Are they,
Mm-hmm.
do they want, like, first of all, do I enjoy their company, but also, like, do they want me, like, do I get the sense that they have my back? I know it's only the first date, but guys like to feel safe too. A lot of women don't.
Of course.
Like, that's important for a man to make a woman feel safe, but guys, like,
And of course, we're speaking emotionally. I mean,
some of us are more romantic. Some of us are more romantic than what women give us credit for. You just kind of have to, care. If you're a woman listening to this. But yeah, man.
So,
long story short, though, I'm sorry, because I'm rambling on. I'm looking at what a woman conveys, not so much what they're saying. What are you conveying? Like,
no, I think you're saying it right. What does she represent? And I think that's. I think you're probably not giving yourself enough credit about that's. I would say that's a key word right there when you say represent, because image. Now, not to rip the words off another prominent YouTuber's mouth, but it really is just a function of marketing, where image is power, right? What do marketing executives, marketing directors do? They wrap, the brand, the identity of what they're trying to sell around the product. So if you want to think of things in a business sense, if she is the product, what is she using to demonstrate to the world? In this case, you, me, guys that are interested in her, what is she conveying to them? What is she about? And so I think for me, it sounds like you do know what you're doing. It's just obviously everyone is going to describe it differently. And so what you was basically describing here is sincerity, the quality of being free from pretense, deceit, or hypocrisy, basically feeling safe. And so in one particular video, just to give myself the quick plug, there's a video, the most popular video is called Good Faith and Sincerity. And so obviously one thing to always screen for and check for when you're out there mingling and trying to figure out who to date, who not to date, who's worthy of pursuing, is you want to see that these qualities over here exist, that someone's not being pretentious, deceitful, or hypocritical. And then the follow-up to that, the actual verb, is what I call good faith. Good faith, where you give someone just enough trust, not ripping the door wide open. You give them enough trust to actually start get things going. So, do you trust the fact that I picked a spot, told you the time, follow me around, and then allow me to start building that bridge towards you, or to each other, better said. But now that you explained what you're looking for, I want to hear more about what are the red flags for you, yellow flags. What do you see? What makes you go the other way around? And if you can, be specific as possible.
All right. So it's funny you said that, because I was actually having a conversation about this earlier, and I can tell you from experience, one thing that's a red flag for me, and guys should take into consideration too, is like how, like, notice how, like, a woman talks about other women. You know what I mean? Like, you can
Explain that more. I never heard
if you
that.
really pay attention, if you really pay attention, you can tell if a woman's full of shit when she tells another woman she sees that, oh my god, I love your hair. You know, that's like, no, because like women do that. No, it's like, hey, I love your hair. And it's like, all right, cool. Like I see, like she means that, you know, it's coming from the heart. Or
Playing games.
oh, I love your hair, but as soon as she turns around, she looks at you and she's like, that bitch is so ugly, and it's like, that might, you know, that might be it. But why would you like why would you show face like that? Like keep that energy, baby.
Being fake, yeah. That's beast.
Keep that energy, because if you're talking shit to a stranger like that, who knows what you're thinking about me behind my back, kind of thing. And
That's a good point.
No, yeah, you know, and something I always like to ask women, you know, on the first date or just whenever, but it's definitely something you definitely want to ask them while you're in that vetting process is, what would your ex say about you right now? How she responds to that, she tells you everything. I tell you.
So
it's like,
I definitely. I definitely agree, but I would curtail that a little bit just to modify that. I wouldn't say that out the gate, me personally, just how I conduct business. I personally wouldn't ask that right out the gate. Like there's a way to ask that without being direct, but getting to the point.
Well, hold on. Let me
go ahead.
Let me cross swords with you there a little bit. Only because of this. It's like usually women, the first day, or usually it's the first day, at least, you know. How do you say? You know, maybe it's just me or whatever.
The getting to know you phase.
That first date or before that first, you get that laundry list of shit like, oh, I need a man who makes six figures. You know, I got 3 kids, by the way. He's got to have his own place. He's got to have X, Y, Z. And it's like, all right, great. Can I ask you a question? If your ex were here right now, what would he say to you? Like, what would he say about, like, how would he describe you? And then how they, like, you could hear resentment in their voice real quick. Usually it's those types, the women with those, like, long-ass delusional laundry lists. They're the ones that, like, oh, no. He'd probably say that I'm a bitch, you know, that I'm
well, if they're being honest.
Or no, not even, no, that I'm the best thing that ever happened to him, but you know what, he lost me, and it's like,
Well, yeah, but so...
He cheated on you, and I see exactly why, baby. You know, you can not hustle a hustle. Next.
Well, typically, I'm not trying to hustle anyone, but to dissect some of the things that you're saying. I mean, I bumped into. I haven't been on dates with them, but I bumped into a number of women that hit me with some outrageous laundry list, or start showing the hate that they harbor for men when they start talking to me, and it's, you know, obviously it's outrageous, and so when I say that I don't ask them right out the gate, I generally ask them in a broader sense. So it doesn't seem like I'm putting them under the gun, where I'll be like, so what were your prior experiences like? Because I just want to see how she describes it. Because if you describe your prior experiences in a negative way, then why did you get involved with that person?
Yeah.
So from there, I don't need to like be ace detective from that point, right? Like I don't have to be an attorney at law digging for the truth. It's you know, reality just kind of stops at that question. But again, personally, you know, that's what I do. Obviously, people, you know, if they're better with words and how they approach things, and I mean, hey, power to you. You know, you won't get any contention from me.
Well, Chris,
yep.
something to think about too is I personally don't ask a woman about their past right away. Usually, I like to let people talk. Like, it's not just me. I like to let everyone talk, because eventually people tell on themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Women especially, bro, they will never, like, it makes me laugh whenever somebody asks me, oh, how many bodies do you think she has? And I'm like, I don't answer that question because I don't know. Oh, you never thought to ask? And it's like, I have thought to ask. But I also know that she will never tell me that number. Like, she'll probably say 10, but really it was probably 50, but 10 of them had actual significance. So 10 to her is not what 10 to us
Yeah,
guys is.
I see what you're saying.
You will never really know what a woman's actual body count is.
And
just, like, that's why I say, like, fuck what they say. Look at what they convey. Like, you know.
exactly. I agree with that
like
statement.
Somebody who has 10 bodies, or do you move like somebody who's been ran through by the whole block? You know what I'm saying?
So my point, well, not my point. What I would say to that, I mean, I have never spoke on that particular topic in any of my videos, and personally, I don't really see a reason why. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you're never gonna know the truth. And what I have said in another video, I don't remember exactly which one, probably was good faith and sincerity as well, is that, you know, your job when you're getting to know someone, at least in my opinion, this is what I do personally. I'm trying to, yes, find out the truth about the person and what's going on in their life, what's going around their life, and seeing if they really mean what they say about having a serious long-term relationship and being locked down. And so I don't have to drill to the core to get super specific truths. I just need the broad general truths. And so, like, trying to find out how many bodies she, you know what I'm saying, she slayed, and what's her kill count. Like, it's you're never gonna know. They're never gonna tell the truth about it. And it's like, so why waste brain cells? Why waste brain cells? Why even bring it up? All you're really concerned about is that if it's clean, doesn't smell, and of course I'm talking about Kitty right here, but if when you slip and slide there, that it feels good. So that that's.
Well, Chris, the reason I bring it up too is because, you know, maybe it's not to you, it's not worth bringing up, and I personally don't bring it up either. But it's definitely a factor. It's definitely something to always think about. You can, I'm not telling you how to live your life or anything. But
No. Go ahead. This is what we're doing.
I'm speaking to you know.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. Speak.
Guys just trying to find, you know, trying to make sense of where their compass should point in the dating circle is that, yeah, sure, like, you're never gonna know the full body count. You never will. But it's something to think about. Like, there is, like, just because you don't like the rules to the game doesn't mean you're not playing the game. You're always playing the game. So you have to know, like, guys now have to know how to work around. Like, if they find themselves dating somebody who, you know, like, for the, you know, quote unquote, for the streets, and he, like, you know, he's like slowly realizing that or whatever, or doesn't want to admit to it, but the evidence is right there. It's like, okay, if this person really means that much to me, how can I work around, like, how can I work with that? Can I work with that? Is that something I can live with or no? You know, this you know, some guys have the proclivity to do certain things that others wouldn't. Like, for example, like, I've dated a stripper before. I found out all, like, you know, I also found out that I can't date stripper, because, like, to me it's like I didn't feel like it was like a real, it wasn't a relationship I could take seriously personally. Other guys can.
I commend the honesty.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
That was it? Yeah, so...
I was actually done, yeah. You know, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there for guys. It's like, yeah, don't, you know, you don't want to, if you don't want to ask them their body count, great, you should. Because it's not your business, and it's also none of theirs to know your body count. That's why when women also ask, oh, what's your body count? It's like, you know, how about we fuck and then you tell me how many women you see?
Well, I think that's I'm actually happy you went this direction too, because that's a double standard that I bump into, and I think it's typically outrageous that, okay, I'm not gonna even, like I said, I don't care, I don't ask that question, but women often, in my experience, take a serious interest in to see how active I am in terms of intercourse. And so, of course, I'm going to tell the truth, right? So better for you to be uncomfortable for 15, 10 minutes from the truth than for me to lie to you or be dishonest to you or avoid being honest to you just so it can blow up later and cause hours and hours and hours of drama and then for us to never talk again. So that's personally my motto to it. But if I'm being honest with you about how active I am sexually, and then you stop talking with me, but you're low key out here slaying bodies, talking to 9, 20, 30 dudes on your social media handles and all that, then what, like what was the point of being upset about me answering the question honestly? And then again, that kind of draws back to this whole immaturity issue that I addressed in the acronym, right? Like, so right off the bat, it's hard to talk about a double standard without talking about how immature the person's being in some scenarios. And so I think it is also a little bit narcissistic because all they're doing is self-victimizing themselves. Like, oh, I didn't know you were a player or a dog. Like, damn, why do I have to be a player and a dog? Like, like.
Yeah. So I always try to avoid, if anyone asks me, how many people have you had sex, how many women have I had sex with, it's like, that's for me to know and you to find out, baby. No, if you want, we could have sex. We could have sex, and you tell me how many women you think I've been with. But I'm never gonna fucking tell you because one, it's none of your business, just like it's none of my business how many of you guys have been with.
For real.
But if a man chooses to go that route and answer that question and give them a number,
I mean, there's no number for me to give. I'm just saying, hey, I'm active.
The fact that she reacts to that at all is a red flag because women and men, you shouldn't care. Like when you're ready for something, you shouldn't care how many people or the kind of people they've been with. You care about who that person is now, where they are now in life.
That
is
facts.
I always try to avoid that question, or I'm honest about it, straight up. I'm like, I don't talk about that, honestly. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's for me to know and you to find out, baby girl. That's it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Because it's past, and as long as what you're saying is in conformity or in continuity of what you're advertising, i.e., if they are looking for something serious, then the bodies from the past, like those skeletons, that those should stay in the grave. But I wanted to revisit a topic that we spoke about last time in the video that obviously didn't work out, where maybe you gave us some thought over the week, where when I presented the idea and we kind of grazed it a little bit, about when you're first getting to know someone or you're aiming to is making an impression, impressing them, right? So in that list of prompts I provided, I listed it as impression versus impressing. And so I just want to re-ask you again, obviously because now the sound works, is when you get to know someone, regardless if the intention is long-term or short-term, obviously when you like someone and you're trying to get to know them, that's what matters. And so are you looking to wow them, or are you just looking to be remembered? If it's the same, explain why. If it's not the same, explain why.
Now that we have the audio working, I still stand by my position. You're asking me personally, and I think how do you say, my father taught me this. I grew up with both my parents in my life, and always, I hate to throw a little the I word, as we hear a lot in the Marine Corps, but part of having integrity, yes, is doing those right things when even when no one's looking, or so part of that, what I mean by that is okay, this might be our first date, I may never see you again, but I'm still gonna I still want to convey the gentleman that I am, that I was raised to be. I still want to present that to you. Even if a woman is not acting like a lady, if she doesn't deserve to be treated like a lady, I'll still treat her like one. And also, yeah, just like, little things like, how you're dressed. If you're wearing a suit, you're wearing a pocket square, how do you smell? Yes, like these are things, does your breath smell like ass, or, you have a mint on you?
For real.
I definitely care about how I'm perceived, to anybody. It's important to you only get one first impression, you know what I mean? You might as well make it count, make it a memorable one. Because also for me, I don't care like, how you come off to me, how I perceive you is an important thing too. But for me, just how I was raised, it's like, who am I to judge you? You know what I mean? I don't have it all figured out. I'm not that ape, I'm not fucking, I'm not God. Like, who am I to judge you? If you're a woman who's like chewing with her mouth open, or if like you don't even offer to pick up the check, even offer to pick up half the check, it's like, okay, now I know this is the nicest you're ever gonna be, and we're not even dating, but it's whatever, it's just, you were just not raised the same way I was, and this isn't for me, so I know I did,
Yep.
I know I look good. I know on this day, Mike look good. I don't give a fuck about you, honestly, but yeah. I really do, it comes off as a little bit, I've been accused of narcissism, but it's like, dude, I actually care about my image,
As you should.
Like, I am not cut from the same cloth as other people, and I am well aware of that.
And
I know my potential.
The thing I want to give a shout out to, sorry to cut you there, dude, is that, again, for the purposes of the channel, is that you have a base to turn to, right? The way your parents raised you.
Yes.
And so, obviously, culture plays a huge role in relationships, especially if you're going to give a guesstimate to how long they last. Now, I don't have no data, statistics, and figures about that, but I mean, if you can look at it all you want. I mean, why do you think in other countries that are less westernized, for the most part, you have marriages that last 20 plus years? That's not rare. Nowadays, it's extremely rare, but again, for the purposes of the channel, and I think the most important thing for viewers and future viewers when they see this is that you're drawing from a source, and that's your parents. And I think a lot of times, and I definitely know I'm speaking from experience here, or I don't see that where, like I said in the beginning when we first jumped on the call, is like, where do they pick these ideas from when they start acting pretentious, bougie, and all this stuff? Like,
yes.
Where is it coming from? Because if it wasn't from your parents, it wasn't in your household, and it wasn't in your immediate life, where did you get it from? And that's not a question for us to answer now, but it's always there in my mind when I'm speaking with someone.
Chris, as it should be, because I've kind of made note already. You've kind of spoken how I've heard other people speak, and they say, "Oh, that's not for, like, this is not something for me to solve." I know you're not. How do you say? Don't take that like you're. I'm calling you blind or anything, because you're not. The fact that you're thinking about it is all that matters. People think that just because you can't solve that problem, you can't think about it. No, you need to think about it, because eventually, as time goes on, you'll piece things together to know how to work around that problem the way you see fit, the way you can. What works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you, kind of thing. So I like that the fact that you're aware of it, man. That's I don't fuck with people that are willfully blind. You, my friend, are I'm glad to hear you speak.
And shout outs to that, because I'm not one for mysteries. Hopefully the volume sounds okay on that one. All right, I gotta work on these sound effects. But anyways.
No, I hear you.
So before I switch back on the screen share, and I just want to look back at those profiles that we did before. A lot of people wrote me about it, but unfortunately, again, they didn't hear the audio. But one last topic I wanted to cover. before we change pace here was you met you mentioned a criticism about dating apps where it was like, yeah, most people on there, most women on there just looking for a free meal, free ride. And I do agree with that. But what I want to ask is do you think it's, well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm thinking too hard about it. What makes you think?
It's funny because you bring that
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. Can I share you a funny experience? And I know
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm not the only guy that's experienced this. So, I've tried the dating app thing. You know, it was COVID. Who hasn't?
Exactly.
That shit lasted 1 fucking week, bro, and I had to delete that shit because I felt nauseous. I felt very nauseous because, you get all these matches, and I remember I was talking, they're dating app. You're talking to multiple,
Of course, who isn't?
The fucking dating app, but and everyone's there for the same fucking thing. You're not there for love. Let's be honest. But yeah, homegirl, we're talking, and for me, it's like, okay, if you're cool, like let's FaceTime or something. I make a joke out of it just to kind of break the ice, and I like to send audio messages, not text, because it takes a human element out of it for one. But anyway, I'm like, hey, let's FaceTime. That way you and I both know we're not getting catfished. This bitch hits me with fucking, my FaceTime ain't free. Here's my only. No. It gets better. Here's my only fan. Like that was enough for me, and I deleted this app. So I'm like, this is clearly not for me. They must have me.
Twisted.
They must have me confused with the Sims that they go out with.
Oh my god.
Subscribe to that shit. No bitch is hot enough for me to fucking subscribe to their OnlyFans. That's why I couldn't date a stripper too. It's like, and I haven't been to strip club since like I was 21. Like, no bitch is hot enough for me to pay their fucking rent and subscribe to their stupid OnlyFans.
That would never happen.
That shit blew my mind. She really said I had to pay for a fucking FaceTime. Suck my whole dick. There you go. That's my story. I'm sure a lot of guys.
Oh yeah, I'm sure many men can relate. I'm telling you right now. So normally when I normally call that. Hold on, let me.
I mean, I admire the hustle, but I'm like, nah, bitch, you can't hustle.
Yeah, you just got the wrong one. You just got the wrong one. Wait, hold on. Let me. There was a specific word I used for this. Give me 1 sec. Let me just make sure that. All right, camera 1 is on. Blatant. So I call that like, and just to be super nerdy about it, I'll even go up and just define it, because I think it's very important to understand the particular about, because it's a finesse strategy, right? Because she see that you digging her, blah blah, so she's thinking like, if I just come out the gate, yeah, she's.
So Chris, while you're looking for that, I just want to kind of add and just speak to my fellow man out there. It's like, how do you say, like, you need, like, men. I've realized 1 week being on those fucking apps is that, like, you really need to interact with people, and not just women. You have to interact with people like face to face. Like men have to go up to women and make the effort, break the ice. There's a reason for that. One, women can't hit on men for shit. Like, that's one. Two, and it's like dating apps takes the rejection out of the game, and men need to know, men need to actively know that regret is like rejection is better than regret. Like it's really
Yeah.
not the end of the world. So what if one girl says no or like looks at you and it's like, ew, get away from me? There's a whole fucking planet full of them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
she's not the only one. You know what I like? Man
Yeah.
the fuck. The dating apps don't allow men to man the fuck up.
So
that's why
I-
I'm very against it. You know, it's a weak thing when guys tell me, oh, look at all these matches that I got on.
Yeah, but
Tinder."
that doesn't
It's
really
like,
mean much if none of them
It means as much
really
to
go
me as a-
anywhere.
You know what? It means as much to me as the same to me. It means the same to me as a stripper telling me that I'm her fucking favorite.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what's
Yeah.
new there? So just 2 points. The blatant strategy. I didn't get super specific about it in one video, but the word I want to highlight here is the unashamed part. Right? When you do something openly, but also with no shame. And so, and that's the issue about that. Like that's something you shouldn't be proud of doing, but yet you're out here doing it. And so I think, yeah, because they're protected by the screen and and people don't have to own up to it. That's why obviously it happens in the internet in a blatant manner. But to your point also about rejection, which I think is very important, I look at it more of a strategic way. Yes, everyone should get that out their system away. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. But like you're saying, a meteor isn't crashing down to Earth to kill you either. Although it is going to feel like crap. But more importantly, the importance about rejection and why it's so beautiful is that it gives you the big answer to your big question. Does she like me or is she interested in me? And now that you know for a fact that it's no, move on, man. Get down that yellow brick road. You know, the Wizard of Oz is waiting for you. Like,
You know, to put it very bluntly, Chris, and you know, I'm probably gonna get shit for talking like this, but you know what? It's me. You get what you get. I could give two shits of a rat's ass what people think, but like men, like really, like it's easier. Things like that are easier said than done.
Mhm.
And so I speak to the person who's struggling. Like, you need to pop that cherry, son. You know what I mean? You need to man the fuck up. Because like, you know, trial and error, man, trial and error. That, but also like like you'd be surprised also how the reaction you get after, like, you know, okay, you got turned down 10 times, but if you had tried that just that extra time, you know, if you had went for that 11th time and when you chose to give up, if you had just tried, maybe that 11th, you know, girl would have said like, hey, yeah, I'll dance with you. What's your name? Kind of, you know.
I was saying, you get rejected 10 times, that's beautiful because that's 10 times you didn't have to waste your time chasing after someone. So that's how I see it. But let's move on to the next thing here. So I actually found out that the Zoom time thing, that only applies when you have 3 or more people on the call, which is why it didn't automatically end. So learning has occurred. So let me go. But I still want to end roughly on an hour just for the sake of being quasi-professional here. So I know you remember this. Just to reiterate some context for past viewers
and
and
future.
future.
It, bro, because I'll be real with you. I'm so against this dating app thing. That I know you showed me this last time, but I wasn't reading that shit. I was just
All right.
like, going.
Yeah.
Like, this is all. I see people showing me their Bumble accounts, and I just like, I'd rather just watch some fucking like cartoon porn than read your, look at how many matches you got. But anyway, no, I'll take a look because you're my boy, and you're trying to, there's an experiment. There's some learning here.
Yeah, no, that's really the point of me bringing this up. Just to dissect it because this is basically the knowledge I try to kick on the channel where, someone sees something like this and like, yeah, obviously you're gonna unmatch them and never speak with them again if you're a sane, logical person, and you're not over here, allowing yourself to be finessed. But more importantly, it's like I put it to you this way. It's the reason, like, right, it's writing as well. So when you write something, is normally you're conveying a message. You want the other person to feel a certain kind of way, typically. And so, just to get into just a little bit of the context there for past and future viewers, is that this happened like sometime in like early January. And so, I matched with this person, blah blah, and I was writing. She was writing me what the messages you don't see that came before this was that I was asking her about her prior experiences, like have you ever met anyone through this app and how did it go? And then she was saying like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 dudes, and it was a fun experience, blah blah, just not exactly what she was looking for. And so then I responded, because my words are the ones that are in yellow. She was like, not negative, fun, just not my type. And then I wrote, what are you looking for in a spouse? And then she was like, funny, loyal, faithful, independent, and a provider. Then she writes, I can't, with a lot of stress in the word can't, do a man who can't provide. I refuse. You? Yeah. And then so, I write what I write over here, being very specific about a survival skill, cooking, because whether from a dating app or in person, I meet a lot of women who can't cook, and that's a huge turnoff, because no way on earth you're going to be the mother of Chris Jr. and you don't know how to feed him. Is completely unacceptable. But my point about bringing this up is about how telling this is right here. Because what do you think they really mean by provide? Like what do you think the person was really trying to stress by that? Because this shit happens in person too.
I think
don't get it twisted. This happens in person too, But it's just easier, obviously, just for the sake of discussion, just to pull it from a dating app. But this, make no mistake, this happens in person too.
Yes, of course. No, yeah. When it's in, about your message here, it's I think she means exactly what she says. I can't do a man who can't provide. I refuse. And it's like, you would be picky too if you were the one that bear the consequences of having to have of having sex, unprotected. One, but also like that's every, like, I don't know, that's like, she just sounds like every fucking, girl on Tinder, like, I honestly, bro, like, also, I also think that I think you may have shot yourself in the foot when you asked her, like, oh, how many, like, what are your experiences? Who fucking cares, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a fucking dating app. Like, hey, I like you. What's your name? She tells you her name. All right, cool. Hey, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't got shit going on this weekend. Or if you don't have anything going on, me and my boys are gonna be at so and so place. Why don't you and the girls come out? We'll be over there. And then it's either a yes or a no, and then you move on. This is like this. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't know how to respond to this personally. I'd probably just ignore it and like move on to.
Right. Which I would agree with. I think you should ignore it.
This is the app that. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the app that women have to like speak to you first, right?
Right. Yeah. Not that I'm gonna give a free plug to any dating app, but yes, that's why I'm not gonna mention names here. But yeah. Okay. That's definitely how this app in particularly works. But for me, and to just draw it back to the foundation where I said hidden, I think this is where some of the elitism comes from, because I don't think this. Okay, well, think about it this way: it's kind of like an oxymoron. What are you looking for a man to provide you that you can't give to yourself? I mean, is there, if whatever it is that this thing that you quote unquote want, like, then what's missing? Because if you quote unquote want this thing, then why are you not getting it yourself? Why are you expecting someone else to spoon feed it to you?
It sounds like she wants a man to lead. Like, usually women would.
I don't really get that from the word provide.
Lead. And I say this because it's like men should take charge. Like, we have the.
Without a doubt, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, no, men are born with the burden of performance, and I say that in quotations because um, I don't see it as a burden personally, and I don't think men should use I personally don't agree with the choosing of that word burden of performance. I think we should look at it uh, as our ability to perform or our right to perform. Like, if you see performance as a burden, then it will be that you refuse to, perform and say, oh, I don't want to perform. Maybe if I just go on my fucking PS5 and level up my character there, I don't have to forget, I don't have to level up in real life. And it's like, no, you should perform. Get your money straight, get your body straight, get your looks straight, get your social skills straight. Like, women like that, and I think men should like embrace that. Like, worry about leveling up in life, not in a stupid video game. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I'm all for video games, by the way, but yeah.
She's just looking for a guy to lead, and I don't think she will find that. Women will find that in those dating apps. If they are aware of this, then they are also aware of the fact that they are in those dating apps looking for a free meal. So, hence, kind of goes back to my argument: you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Baby girl, I know you're broke. It's okay, you're broke. I'm just not the one. I'll take you to my favorite vending machine if you'd like, bro.
I like that.
That's the best I could do. That's the best I could offer. It's a lot of chit chat on those things, but no substance, bro. They all sound the same on those things.
So, I just want to revisit this other one here, because again, just for the sake for the past viewers and future viewers, since kind of repenting for my sins over here, where this is clearly a dating profile of this lady here, and I already messed it up yet again, where I revealed the age at the beginning, so I messed up again. So strike 2 for me. But I'll go ahead and read the profile this time around, and this is just to speak directly to what I meant, in a sense with what I meant about the immaturity. And so let's just pretend no one saw the age of this person. Let's just pretend you don't remember this from last week, and you're reading this profile, which is much like what somebody would tell me in person if I'm out and about. But anyways, and you see, I lost a bet, so here's my profile. Born and raised in the Bronx, I'm a funny, relaxed lady who loves her dog more than most people. Which is ridiculous.
I love watching TV and movies, but I'm also down to hit the bar
For a few shots of Jack Daniels. So
yeah, she sounds like every fucking she sounds like
typical woman. So first of all, she's a misanthrope from what I understand, because if you think dogs are more important than human beings, then you need some help. And then 2 is like when you read something like this without seeing the pictures and all that, like, you would think that this person's probably between 19, 23, 24 years old, in college, talking about friends, and they created a dating profile for me. And then lo and behold, you see it's a 40-year-old woman that's here writing this, or let her friend write this, allegedly. And it's like, well, when do you grow up?
Well, that's
when do you grow up?
This is like in my head, and obviously, I don't.
Granted, no one's going to seriously pursue this, but
yeah, I wouldn't have the heart.
Well, I would hope not.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have the heart to go on and tell someone this out of nowhere. But if I find myself on an actual date with this person, a 40-year-old, and she says like something about going to a bar for shots of Jack Daniels.
And remember, her dog is more important than people.
He likes to watch TV. Who doesn't? That's like everyone. Unfortunately, we don't all have the time to watch TV. If you want a man, be prepared. If you want a successful man, be prepared for a busy man. That means that guy's probably going to be too busy securing the bag, trying to put meat on the table. He's too preoccupied with that than watching your stupid fucking Cinderella or whatever. You know what I mean?
my case, Alice in Wonderland. But and we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, no, and also to add on to homegirl over here who's fucking passing
40.
herself like it's like, baby girl, what's your like?
What are you trying to do?
No, but like, baby girl, what's your credit score looking like? Like, you know, credit scores don't just apply to us too. You know, they apply
certainly.
about you too. You know.
You know, I'm actually glad that you bring that up.
Score since she's had fucking credit. You know what I mean? Like.
I'm actually really happy you bring that up because again, just to hit on the immaturity part, where
it's just really nothing but a number, bro. I've dated women significantly older than me that act like fucking kids, bro.
And it's a huge turn off.
That like they have their shit together. They are the man they want to be. They're like too mature, you know. But yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's no such thing as the one. There are only good ones and bad ones. You just have to know how to weed them out through the wheat or whatever. But yeah.
But what I would say, and I think I brought this up when we first talked. You know, every man meets two types of women in his life: the woman he marries, and then the woman he loves. And if he's lucky, he marries the woman that he loves. And so that's just food for thought there. But just to conclude this part, because now we're over an hour here. This little symbol right here where it says subscriber, that little symbol, whatever that is, I guess that's a diamond. That means that they paid to be on the app. And so what I don't understand is like, why would you go pay for this just to like bullshit and clown around? And so again, that's a question that'll never be answered, and I'm not gonna rack my brain about it. But it just goes to show the word is the cognitive dissonance, right? So if you have a goal, you have something you want, but your actions are actively contradicting it. So if you say something like, yo, I don't like pepperoni on my pizza, but once a month you eating pepperoni pizzas, right? Like there's like a cognitive dissonance there because it's like, yo, I thought you didn't like it, so why are you doing it? Yes. So just some food for thought there where we got some delusional activity over here.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, how do you say? Just to kind of touch on what I had said before, like I'm a believer, yes, that there's no such thing as the one. It really is only good ones and bad ones, and men are never going to learn how to distinguish which is which if they're on their fucking ass playing stupid video games, you know, or fucking jerking off with their friends smoking weed. Not against weed, in fact, you know.
Be easy.
I ain't no saint either, you know. I was in high school also. I'll leave it at that, but, you know.
What I would say to counter the point,
man got, like boys, like there's a real distinction between being a boy and being a fucking man, and you gotta know where that line is, and you gotta. Like,
well, I mean, eventually you gotta cross that line. That's what I would say.
Yeah, guys need to realize that in life you have to make sacrifices, and if you refuse to make sacrifices, you will eventually be a grown child. Nobody wants to be with a grown child, man or woman.
You can say that again.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but just before I moved into the concluding element here, what I would say again, we get a little philosophical here is, you know, for my philosophy buffs out there, the Aristotelian, you know, style of living, right? Like the extreme of anything is no good, right? So if you're doing too little, you don't want to do too little of something, and you don't want to do too much or something. So obviously, you know, I play video games and I'm not against it, but am I putting an overwhelming amount of time in it? No. Am I letting it get in the way of me having to be the outstanding, robust employee that I am? No. So maybe in a week, if I'm lucky, I get like maybe 3 or 4 hours in, if I'm lucky, if I try to make time for it. But again, it's not overall consuming me, and you just gotta kind of manage your sins, if that makes any sense. So too little of something, no good for you. Too much of something, no good for you. How do you get that balance? And so that's what I would speak to like, you know.
Everything in life is balance. Yeah, I agree.
So,
Everything
because
is
again,
like,
everyone's gonna
it's
have
just-
vices. Everyone's gonna have vices, and so for me, I adopt that philosophy about like how do you manage your vices so they don't manage you. Because I think the real point you're trying to say is don't end up being addicted to this junk where life is going out the window, and
Yes,
so it's and
yes,
I
but also, yes, and then to add to kind of like your point on vices, it's like, yeah, everyone's gonna have vices. We're human. We're gonna have vices, but if make sure that vice is a constructive vice. Like personally, um, how do you say? I'm not gonna try to tell you how to live. Anybody how to live their life, but you know, how do you say? I can't relate to people like I've seen guys my age like they're like, oh, did you see the new trailer for that video game? And it's like, no, bro, because like try playing chess. Now that's a real fucking game right there. You're working a part of your brain, the left side. You're actually working the logical side of your brain, which is the left side associated with math. A lot of people don't know that, but if you're gonna have a vice, make sure it's a healthy vice. I don't believe in having life pass me by and sedating me. But anyway,
yeah. So
I more or less agree with your point there.
yep, and if there was more time, I cross swords with you in a couple of points there, but again, I
Let's
want
do
to.
part 3 to this.
Yeah, so definitely so. Look out for it in the summer. So, uh, but so I definitely want to bring this up because I think it's again I'm trying to match with the cat that's gonna show up in the video, but also just shows what helps kind of the foundation of what my experience is, and again just the purpose of the channel about the lack of direction. So automatically you already see this is Alice in Wonderland from 1951. It's the one Disney made. And so she got all these things, all these directions, nowhere to go. And she kind of just doesn't help herself in this situation because of a very important question the Cheshire Cat asks her, which is, where do you want to get to? He doesn't say, where do you want to go? He asks her, where do you want to get to? And then her response is basically just a reflection of my experience for the most part when I'm speaking with women, primarily about long-term, meaningful relationships. And I'm gonna go ahead. It's just playing about half of it, and I'll end on the title of the talk show series. So I can bring up that volume.
Oh my! It's like taking your girl to order something at McDonald's.
Yeah, for real. Wait, what happened here? What's going on? I think I switched it by mistake.
Yeah, man. The only Disney movies I've like really watched, like I know the story of Cinderella and like The Little Mermaid, but like I could only say that the real Disney movie I watched was like The Lion King.
Yeah.
Now that's a fucking movie, But anyway, I'll allow this because I'm not a fan of Disney, but whatever. There's learning to be made here, so.
My suit looks like him, at least I think so.
Why, you're a cat.
A Cheshire cat, all amusing. Oh, what a wonderful.
Oh, wait. Don't go, please.
Very well. Very good.
Oh, no. Thank you, but I just wanted to ask you which way I ought to go.
Well, that depends on where you want to get to.
Oh, it really doesn't matter. As long as I...
Then it really doesn't matter which way.
It's disturbing.
which is so true, because once I get that lack of direction for a woman, she don't know what she want to do with me, I keep it moving.
Well, Chris, let me challenge you on that. Man. This is part of what
If you
Um,
really
Hold on, I
like
just wanted to end on where I got the flyer from.
Who did?
the White Rabbit,
He did?
he did what?
When's that?
Who did?
The White Rabbit.
Because now he just fucking with her.
But didn't you just say, I mean, oh dear.
Can you stand on your head?
And that's exactly how I feel. So go ahead, bro, shoot.
Yeah, no, so I'll kind of challenge you a little bit there, like when, because you're not the first person to tell me, like, that I hear that from. It's like, oh, when she doesn't know what she wants, I ain't got time for her. I used to...
As far as it goes for me, I don't mean that in general about life. I mean, obviously, obviously that takes time, to figure out.
This is, yeah, but like, even then, like, sometimes, like, your girl will probably hit you with like, I don't, like, she'll just probably like throw it out there, oh, I don't know what to eat, but I'm hungry.
That's fine.
As insignificant as that is to people and as annoying that is to some guys, that's part of what I mean by she wants a man
To lead.
I am hungry. What are you gonna do about it? And it's like, based on who you are as a person, how long I've been with you, if we are dating seriously, I got you, baby girl, I got you. But if you don't, if this is just some fucking Tinder date or whatever, then it's like the vending machine, my favorite vending machine. I got you. Like, I got, they got Doritos, they got the food bags, they got Snickers there. Baby, you like apple juice? All right, but
You're nice.
For real, like, it's things like this, and this is what I mean too. Like, like, take the fucking lead. Like, like, if she never knows what she wants, she's got some.
Yeah, then that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, but if from time to time she's, it's okay.
Yeah.
She's human. So she's human too. Like, she's doing what she wants. But that, baby, I got you. You like pizza? Don't worry. Have a seat. I got it. I'm making pizza. I'm making pasta. I got you, baby. Pour me a glass of wine. Daddy's got you tonight. I'll show you the world. Like, this is something, I will show you the world. If I'm with somebody, like, and guys have to be capable of, providing, not just monetary, but like, emotional support, moral, financial, sexual, like, you have to actually be able to, like, yes, perform in bed. But how do you say, it's like, I'll, show them the world. But if daddy wants a sandwich, daddy's getting a sandwich, like.
I always say the sandwich comes first, because you ain't getting,
you ain't
getting nothing in it.
Yeah, no, like men have to, like, that's what I mean, man, like
treat yourself, self-respect,
it's okay to
and
walk the walk. It's okay to wear these Jordans and all this new what's in fashion now. But if you don't move like that guy, if you don't move like the guy that
I would just say, if your life is not even about that, then why?
Man, guys need to humble themselves too. You know what I mean? Do you want to appear to be rich, or do you want to actually be rich?
No pretentiousness. That's what that's called.
Yeah, no. Rich isn't internal. It's for me. I think there is more value in pursuing what is meaningful, because that makes your soul rich. And pursuing what is meaningful is better than pursuing happiness.
Right.
Happiness goes away, but meaning makes your soul rich. That goes for any man.
I certainly agree with that. And so we're definitely gonna conclude from right here, man. Thank you again for hopping back on.
I
and
have to keep cutting you off, man. But there's a
it's
lot
all
of
good.
things. Like,
I know it's a lot more deeper than people think it to be, and then it's like.
These conversations need to be had. Guys don't.
I think so. It's to spread some awareness, but more importantly, I think it just goes to show that you don't have to agree on every single last point. As long as you're not being the fool that spontaneously goes to like strip clubs, bars, and randomly throwing money at women senselessly and out here getting finessed and doing what you shouldn't be doing, is straying away from your purpose and creating purpose for yourself. It doesn't matter who you agree or disagree with, as long as different lane but same road, right? Like, you want to get to the same place, and that's where you have your economic self-sufficiency. and that purpose that you create for yourself. So that's what I would say. And so you don't have to throat chop each other just because you don't agree on every point. It's not how things go.
I feel like women also should learn that if you have to force a vibe with a guy, if you're finding yourself trying to change him or correct, him, like, that's probably
It's never gonna work.
Probably not the guy for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's never gonna work.
also, guys need to realize too, like, if she's trying to do all that to you, get a sense of that. Maybe she's trying to mold you into the guy she wants to be. Maybe she's not the one for you.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not a voodoo doll. Don't start letting her break your limbs into what she needs you to be. Yeah, dude.
I think guys should really focus on go your own way. Like,
Exactly.
Be the man you want to be, not the man she deserves or whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. We're concluding here, man. But yeah, thank you for.
Yeah.
For,
I definitely want to let you have the last word, and just like last time, go ahead and give yourself a plug, and if for past and future viewers, whatever you want to share.
Yeah. Well, you can find me on Instagram at. My handle is here.goes.nada. So here goes nada. Just here.goes.nada. I would, and then, I don't know if I should give my personal email. I kind of don't want.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, no, but that's all I'll give. You could DM me whether I answer it or not. Sorry, nothing personal. I have a lot of shit that I do with my time. So unless there's something in it for me, or you're someone I was with in the Marines, or someone very close to me, it's nothing personal. I just I have shit to do with my life. So yeah.
So again, man,
you could give me a like here and there. That's fine. I appreciate it.
So, again, man, thank you for your time, man. Thanks for making time for me again, and hopefully I catch you on the next one. I'll certainly stay in touch, bro. Take care of yourself out there.
Yes, man.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless, brother. So definitely a productive talk. There's definitely things that were different from the first go around, but I'm happy that he made time for me to make that up. Rectifying the sins of the past. So I hope everyone enjoyed that discussion. I'll probably do an analysis on a later date. I'll go ahead and create some clips because I do think personally, clearly this is someone that keeps up with the manosphere. Even there's a couple of things that he said and surprised me, but I'd be disagreeing with so many things, blue in the face, and you just don't have time for it. But definitely stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We got more coming up tomorrow at 12 p.m. I'm going to be speaking with a lady named Terry. We did a video together. Well, not a video together, but we were both guests for a Valentine's Day event that happened earlier this year that I still haven't made clips of. But I'll definitely be revisiting that with her. And I'm expecting it to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, got something out of it, and of course stay tuned, stay straight, take care of yourselves, and don't be out here getting finessed. So with that, have a great night, and I'll see you on the next one.
Sorry I called too many times. The way you left me earlier, the plenty on my mind. So Henny on the grind, saying I ain't deserving you, blaming me for the fall or the decline. I ain't involved in us. My heart of ice left me salty, dissolving trust. No I'm faulty, but it's not a crime. The 48 eyes, we be fine like chicks.